Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of the English One podcast on my channel. Today, I have a special guest. Once again, we are welcoming Stefan Kienzl. Hello.
Hello.
We're gonna get straight through the topic just because I know you are a crazy busy man, and especially right now, it is 4 days out to the New York Pro. Am I correct?
Yes. So it's Saturday, it's 4 days out, and I fly to New York Thursday morning.
Oh, you're gonna be there.
Mhm.
Yeah. You've always traveled with your athletes. This is something that I love about you.
Actually, it depends. I when you have that workload, you always have to choose wisely. So, for example, I will always go to Olympia and Arnold's, even if there are multiple shows on that weekend. But especially when there are a lot of shows on one weekend, there are weekends I have 5 to 6 different shows on 4 different continents. There I prefer to stay at home because then I can get everything the same importance and can control everything better, and everybody gets the same product. But this weekend it's mostly just New York, so it's easy for me to travel. But I just travel Thursday to Monday, so I'm back at home on Monday already.
Yeah, and your suitcase is actually stands right behind you. So this is
They
an indication of your
no, they actually they stand always there.
yeah.
I counted last year. I had 60 flights.
Oh my God, this is more than I have in my whole life. I, to be
Yes,
honest,
sometimes it's a little busy.
yeah, it is. It has to. Last time we spoke, you were a very known coach, and right now it seems like you are working with every pro that is actually relevant to the game. It is how is that
I
even
think
possible?
I think that there are much more relevant pros out there than I coach for sure. But I'm quite happy with my roster, and nothing to argue about that. But even if it seems that a lot is spoken about me right now, I'm not the only one who coaches a lot of very successful bodybuilders. But this year, especially in the Open, it will be quite interesting. I always had my hands quite intense in the classic division with a lot of competitors, 4 at the Olympia, for example, or 3 at the Arnold. But this year there will definitely be a new challenge with the big boys also. And especially when it comes to open bodybuilding, I think 2024 will be the most interesting year when it comes to open bodybuilding since, I would say, Ronnie and Jay.
Yeah.
So since nearly 20 years, because even if you take a look at the upcoming shows in Europe, the people, or Dubai, the people who will compete, it's crazy. It's from my side, it's William, it's Nathan, it's Mo Foda, it's Anthony Yale. Then I know that Andrew Jack will do some shows. I know Regan will do some shows. Perus is doing the shows. Griso is doing the shows. Brandon Curry said he's probably, or I heard that he's probably doing Dubai also. Hunter will do some shows. Andrew Jack is doing some shows. So it's absolutely nuts this season, and everybody out there who has the possibility to go to shows should go to Alicante, should go to Portugal, should go to Dubai, because that's something you've never seen before. Open bodybuilding is so back because 2 or 3 years ago, everybody said open bodybuilding is dead and classic is the division. This year, open bodybuilding will show the people how present and how important and how good open bodybuilding can be.
Yeah, it is funny just because there was a trend to say that winning a pro card nowadays is easy. It's easy and it's not that demanding. And being pro, it's easier nowadays, and some people can travel to some shows and even win their qualification to the Olympia rather easy. So just to be there and probably close the tail of the of the competition, but nonetheless, that they were Olympians. And right now, the bodybuilding is like a fresh new air, like it is live again. It is live again. There's no easy shows because
No.
even on the edge of the world is someone who's probably top six or will be top six in the uh, nearest time because those
Yeah,
pros are,
absolutely.
yeah,
Open bodybuilding is crazy that year because everybody is getting their ass from the chair and is going to compete. So this year will be special. For sure, it's easier to get pro because you have much more possibilities than before. Especially as a European, it always was easy for Americans to get pro.
yeah,
For the people out there who don't know it, in America, at the USA's and at the nationals, the top two of every division get a pro card. So if you get second in the up to 80 kilogram division, you get a pro card. In Europe, that never has been the case. In Europe, before in the old times, you had be the overall winner of the European Championships, or you had to be the overall winner of the World Championship, or in some or some in a period of time it was okay to be the British champion, overall champion, but actually that was it. Now for sure we have a lot of pro qualifiers, and you have a lot of more chances to get pro. But on the other hand, there are a lot of more competitors. Bodybuilding has never been that big. The amount of athletes have never been that big. And I'm now in the industry since the early 2000s. And back then, I have also seen shit pros. I have seen shit pros who have never been better than last at shit shows. For sure, we have that pros now also. Maybe it's a little bit easier to get a pro, but it's definitely hard enough to get a good placement at the pro show and to work your ranks up. And when it comes to the Olympia, I think it's more hard than ever before, especially in the open, to get your Olympia ticket, because in the old criterias, you didn't have to win a show to go to the Olympia.
yeah.
It was quite the same than the Arnolds. You just needed to get an invite and everything was fine. So it always has an up and down, but I wouldn't say that it is easier as the pro right now. It's probably a little bit easier to get a pro card, but actually then the life just starts.
I've just realized that every time I speak with you, it seems like I am speaking with a friend. So the conversation is so smooth that I am not even introduced you. So for those who are living under the rock or just maybe are not similar with bodybuilding scene, I am talking with Stefan Kienzl. You are from the Austria, if I'm right.
Yes, from
Yeah,
Vienna.
from Vienna. Oh, I lived in Vienna for a half year. So
Oh, great.
yeah, I hate it. But
Why? It
just
was too big for you, or it was too
yeah,
big city, or?
yeah, that was just too crowded for me. That was overwhelming. I was feeling like in a Tetris game. I have to just walk through the people, and that was crazy just because I'm from the very small town here. It's this almost like a village. So for me, that many people was just too overwhelming. But today I was wanted to talk with you about having a lot of high level athletes at once. And from the perspective of a coach, more than like, I don't know, the passionate or something like that, because there are a lot of coaches who are have maybe two, three people in the show yearly and just cannot handle the pressure or just can't manage their time quite well to making the adjustments to be on the top of every athletes and stuff like that. And you working with that would be even probably hard to count how many pros you've got right now, and maybe
I
not.
think 80 or something.
Yeah, and most of them are very well known. So we are not gonna even try to count it because this is irrelevant. But just get me through your day, and if that is not a problem, please tell me how do you structure maybe not structure, but manage everything that you be able to remember every changes with every athlete, especially that you are also working with female athletes, with classic physique athletes, with men's physique athletes. So every division. So we know that every division needs totally different like approach. So it's that much harder.
Um, I think the key fact is that I'm doing that since a very, very, very long time. If I count it exactly, I'm coaching now since 18 years. So I'm coaching longer than some of you maybe are living on Earth out there. And sure, I'm coaching longer than most of you out there train. So I do that since a very, very, very long time. I think that's one of the things. One of the other things is that bodybuilding is just my passion. So when there are even when there are big shows at the moment, there are nearly no big shows. I have no competitors, but even the last years when there have been big shows or shows when there was a live stream, I think I've seen every show since 10 years, every show. Sometimes I have weekends, or I had weekends, even people not competing, and I was watching three live streams parallel just to see how judging is going, just to see how competitors look, how just to see how competitors develop. So I really put a lot of effort, not only in my work, I put a lot of effort in bodybuilding in general. So there's a deep interest in bodybuilding, not only because it's my job, because it's one of my biggest passions. I think so. On one hand, you have the routine because I do that since very, very long time. On the other hand, you have that deep passion for bodybuilding. And the second thing or the third thing, I know how to do things. I know how working or how my way of working has to be very productive. And if clients come and they would prefer other kind of working, I'm not the right coach for them because I know what works for me. And so I'm quite stubborn when it comes to that. And that saves a lot of time because I know what I can do good and I do the things I can do good and I don't do things I'm not good at in. So I save a lot of time in being very, very effective in the work I put into a project. And all that together with having a lot of time, for sure, I'm working most of the time from 6 in the morning until 9 or 10 in the evening. I had my last holiday, I think, 2018. So I've not had one free day since then. But still, it's okay because, as I said before, even when I don't had people on shows, I still wanted to watch the show. So
Just loving it.
it's hard it's hard to say, but if I would explain it, I think that are the main factors why it works. And the other thing is, I think I understand bodybuilding quite good, and I understand the process of judging quite good. And for me, I really can separate my work from my personal feelings, and I can separate my work from friendship. So I always want to get the best out of every person in every minute, no matter who is competing against each other out of my team. Because also for my own interest, I know that the judges down there are choosing by their personal favor on that specific day. And if everybody is on a high level, still the subjective meaning of the judge will lead to a victory or not. And that I just have the best chance to win. I always bring everyone to the absolute maximum, because in the end, always the only thing I want is winning. And as I separate that from my feelings, that works out quite good. And that doesn't give any pressure to me, because I give the same to everyone. And that's how it works.
Okay, so let's just put me through a weekend like New York Pro right now, because
which is an easy weekend.
How many pros you put on stage this weekend?
Oh, as I said, New York is a really, really chilling weekend. I have Martin. He hopped in because after the Dallas win, we actually didn't want to do any more shows. But then the Manions called and said if he wants to come to Pittsburgh and if he wants to do the New York show, then we said yes. So Martin is doing it. And I have a very, 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 very nice girl who is doing figure. She had last year she turned pro, so she did Alicante and she did Portugal, I think, last year. But that's her first real pro season with an off season. Jean Castle, she is doing figure, and that actually are the only two in New York right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you have more clients, to be honest.
No, because my classic boys, they all have the Olympia qualification right now.
Yeah.
So Memphis Diogo is already qualified, also with the Arnold Classic win. Wesley with the Arnold Classic win. Urs with the Olympia qualification of the third place, also with the 2 wins of last year. For William Nathan, it was too early. James, with James, we do the autumn season. So actually, most Europeans start in Alicante or in Italy. So there wasn't. I think it's also New York is quite a bad. It's quite in a bad time, you know. For the guys who want to qualify for the Olympia, it's better sometimes to be a little bit later or a little bit more early. Yeah. So I had a lot of guys doing the Arnolds. So the Arnolds guy, they are in their well-deserved rest right now. So there weren't a lot of people left for New York. And as I said, Martin is just doing it because they asked for, because he's also already qualified.
How do you feel about you, Martin? I was watching the Pittsburgh, and
he looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I love
everything turned out very, very well. But Pittsburgh was a guest posing.
Yeah.
Matt Jensen just wrote yesterday they weren't peaking and they hadn't done anything. We also not. Martin was driving on that day to Pittsburgh. He had an arm workout before and had this just normal diet day. I think nobody peaked for that for that guest posting. We are not retarded.
Yeah, especially not 1 week out. Yes.
No, so let's see. Nick is an incredible athlete. Really, when you see him live, it's just a huge impression. He is dense, he's brutal. I'm definitely sure they will nail the condition 100%. There is no doubt about that. But in my eye, Martin is much more beautiful. He has the more pleasant physique. He's very complete. But we're also not allowed to count out Tonio Burton, Quinton, who is extremely good. Let's see if his mass is enough to challenge them. We have also Angel Calderon, who looked incredible at the guest posing on Sunday in Alicante. We have Stu. So it's a very good and a very deep lineup, the best in New York since years. So it will be a tough and very interesting show to see.
Yeah, it is like a night of the champions again.
Yeah, exactly.
It is truly, this is funny because a couple of years ago I could pinpoint a couple of guys that I've just like better or something like that, and nowadays it's the social media factor and the possibility to speak with this boys and men's, maybe not the boys because of but it's feels like you like everyone that much that's picking a winner is that much harder because it is a factor in, and I definitely could not be a coach. I know that you are a coach actually, like not a coach. Sorry, yeah, you are a coach, but I mean a judge. I could not be a judge, especially not with a stuck lineup like this when beef stew, like Stuart Sutherland, is one of my favorite bodybuilders, and Martin Fitzwater is one of my favorite bodybuilders, and Nick Walker right now is one of my favorite bodybuilders, and I could mention everyone you just mentioned, and
that's exactly what I said before. In the end, a subjective taste will choose who is the winner. Because it's just not fair, and it's also, in my perspective, very often not objective who is really the best of them. It's a question of taste. If they deliver, if they are all in shape, they are all absolutely great bodybuilders. And Steve has to choose which one he likes on that day the most.
Yeah, but this is why you have a panel of judges, not the only one. I know that the head judge have like the last word, but
they discuss with the head judge. They're.
I know.
Yes,
I know because I have the same problem 10 days ago on my show. So yeah, I know that the head judges just have a last word, so that probably doesn't matter what the other judges thought. Maybe not it's not.
They need to argue really. They need to argue really good. Definitely. But on the other hand, I think it's good like that because most head judges really have a long experience in doing that. And some normal judges, not head judges out there, they haven't seen big shows never in their whole life.
Yeah.
So actually it's for me, most of the time it's positive that there is one who is leading the direction.
Can you tell me what do you think about nowadays the NPC and IFBB progression? Because I like we have those newsletters right now. We have Manion who is uh, after every show he bring in the like showcase the every show and just pinpointed why certain athletes lost or win and what are the new criteria and stuff like that. What do you think about the progression
I think it's
of the
very good.
federation?
It's getting more and more professional. It's a big business and it's run like a big company, and it's run better and better, I would say, every year. So the direction it goes is very positive. Also, the show productions are getting better. Shows in general are getting better. The product the athlete buys, I would see it like that. If you attempt at the show, you are buying a product. You are buying your place to compete there. You are buying the production, and that is getting better. So the people definitely get more for their money when we talk about the amateur sector. And we talk about the pro sector. It's also better productions. It's getting a little bit more prize money. And the sport is getting more overall interest. So also that is going to the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let me ask you because this is a topic that's probably interest many of people who are watching my podcast and podcasts in general. What are the biggest difference in coaching open guys versus like men's physique, classic physique guys, and then the girls?
Actually, there there is a big difference from person to person, not only from class to class. Um, there are projects which need more psychological attention. There are projects which needs more training attention. There are projects which needs more health attention. There are projects who needs more supplement direction. So it's different from person to person. Um, but the approach or the general approach for me is never different. My approach for every category is to bring the most aesthetic and flowing physique the criteria needs in the specific classes. So there's a little bit the difference. So open bodybuilders, they don't have to be that conditioned than a classic bodybuilders these days, who you really have to bring down into the weight limit. Then, especially the bringing them down in a good shape into the weight limit is also a speciality of classic physique, or also for man physique right now. But the approach of how coaching is done and the approach which things are important for me are totally the same from bikini to open bodybuilding. You just have to fit everything to the person and to the criteria of the classes. There is no open bodybuilders need to take double gear as classic physique guys, or that's just nonsense. Everybody needs the things he needs to do for getting his personal best. And that can be very, very different from person to person and is not directed from class to class.
You see, I've asked because I am watching, for example, Wesley. I am watching, for example, Nathan Diasha or James Hollinshead. And I mentioned those three guys because they have their own specific way of doing things. And this is something that is so visible for them. It's like they trademark. For example, Nathan likes their cheat meals. Wesley are very focused on nutrition and like vitamins and stuff like that. And James are known, it's gonna sound bad, but are known for doing his own thing with sometimes with even if you have a coach. And nonetheless, maybe we are not know how the James are morph, because you are just started, to be honest. But with Nathan and especially with Wesley, seems like they are doing still the same thing that they were doing before working with you, but everything's changed. They're totally different bodybuilders. How is that even possible? What's changed? Because nothing on the outside.
The point is, when people out there still think coaching or a high-level coach, his quality is based on writing plans, then you are wrong. The thing a coach must do is doing decisions. So I say when something has to change, I say when something has to keep. And that's actually the job I have to do. So I do the decisions, because people by themselves are most of the time poor doing decisions, because there is emotion, there is anger, there is fear, there is whatever. So the difference is that I do the decisions. You can train that style, you can train that style, as long as it's targeting the muscle, and as long as it's intense and stimulating the muscle, you're doing it right. There is no right training, there's no wrong training, there's no better plan, there's no worse plan. But on the other hand, it's very important to recognize when it's time for recovery and when not. And I do that decision. I do the decision when it's time to eat less or eat more. I do the decision when it's time to recover from steroids or when it's not. So actually, my job is doing decisions. And I work out with the people, the training, the workout or whatever, what they like or what they do. There is a very, 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 very good documentation about Jose Mourinho, the good football coach. And he says, it's ridiculous. I don't have to train or learn Ronaldo how to play football. I have to get him into the mindset, and I have to pull the right triggers that he is delivering that best football on that day on the field. And that's actually the thing a coach must do. And most coaches out there, they are poor in doing decisions. They have fear, they have whatever doing decisions. I think that's a little bit the difference of my approach to things. Sometimes people, especially amateurs or people who are not that far in that sport, are a little bit disappointed because I don't change training plans every week. And when they say, can you rewrite because I don't like oats and I want that? And I just say, yeah, eat what is fine for you. Just let's go to try, or because I don't put that much effort in it, because that's what I said before. I need to schedule my time, and I need to have a high quality in my work for the necessary thing, and that is doing decisions and not writing a training plan, which doesn't make a difference when you still don't hit the muscle the right way. So for me, for example, it's much more important to analyze a training video and see how the movement is. Or for me, it's more important that people come to me and I really see where comes the activation out, where is the contraction, does it target the right fibers. That's much more important than every plan which could be written, because a plan will never be solving any symmetry, growth, or lacking body part problem. It's just not about the training plan. It's about how it is done. And most people just don't have the quality in training, in the basic stuff, that they even can think about changing the training, because they still don't know or aren't able to do the basics.
Yeah, man, that was just beautiful. That was something that I wasn't expected. I was expected that you say something like that, but that was so clear that if right now and at least one person would not like feel it in the guts, they should probably stop doing whatever they do and play golf or something like that because it is not for the bodybuilding building is not for them. Yeah, that was clear as a as a water. I don't know how to say it better, but yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, you see, I was asking about that because, like I said, on the outside, if when you're watching those YouTube videos of those guys, it is always crazy simple thing, and people just always looking and searching for a magic, for like, I don't know, that maybe he eats this or that, or trains this way or that way, or I don't know, pin more than the other one, or something like that. And it's never like that. It
You
is
know, it's so
always,
funny
yeah,
because sorry that I interrupt you, but one crucial thing is really, I say, especially that word, how much quality the training has. And when I train with people, even they are doing sometimes the sport quite long, they are always asking questions, as you say, about that supplements, about upping the gear, about those special tricks. And then I train with them, and the quality of training is just shit. You know, the intensity is shit, the quality of movement is shit. And actually, that is the main factor which gets muscle growing. So a lot, or I would really say most bodybuilders out there, they don't focus on the right thing. The base isn't there, you know. It would be the same if you buy a Ferrari and you're just not able to drive a car. So don't think about the Ferrari, just learn driving car, and then we can discuss more and more and more and more. So that's very, very, very often the problem that as you said, the people focus too much on the complicated, which comes after, where you can maximize things, but they don't have the base to even maximize anything because there's nothing here to maximize.
yeah. It is so right. And you telling me that it feels like you're talking about my chest. And this is something I have to work on because I am I every off season I try to bring it up my chest, and I grew everywhere beside my chest. You can watch my latest post, like I pinned it on the Instagram, and see the difference between my last year stage photos and in the same light, same day, same show this year. And I my main focus was chest, and my hamstrings, glutes, quads are twice the size, and my chest is still the same. So
But the point is easy. We can shortly discuss that thing. If you go through the things in the upper body or the upper body movement, and when you go to the chest, um, and we analyze the pressing movement, okay? So we would argue that it is a compound movement. And I also strongly believe that compound movements bring the most growth in the tissue because the load is quite big. But the compound movement is a summarized of tricep extension. So to get from here to here, the first part of the movement is the triceps extension. The second part of the movement, I isolated now, is bringing the upper arm to the body center. People who have no chest always have the same problem. In the pressing movement, they always focus the triceps extension. So they start moving the weight with the triceps extension and not with bringing the upper arm to the body center. So you have to reprogram the moving and getting that triceps extension out of your mind with focusing, bringing the upper arm to the body center. The second thing is that we tend to move it forward with the shoulder. So the front delt has much more part of bringing the upper arm to the body center. So you have to focus on two things. Not focusing the triceps extension in the pressing movement. And the second thing is not bringing the upper arm to the body center with the front delt. You need to bring it with the chest. And that's a reprogramming of the movement. That's totally the same for legs. When people have lagging hamstrings or lagging quads, when we try to get up from the floor, we have two movements. The first movement is the knee extension, but if we just do the knee extension, we fall forward. It's understandable. The second part of the movement is the retroversion of the upper leg. So we need both movements. If we have guys with big quads and shit hands and glutes, they are focusing the knee extension. If we have guys with shit quads, but big glutes and big hands, they are focusing the retroversion of the upper leg. So you have to reprogram it. You can do as many leg curls you want. You can do as many extensions as you want. That isolation movement, they won't bring the lagging body part up. It's the summarization of the power in the compound movement, which is the problem, and which has to be reprogrammed to get that symmetry problems to solve that. It's always like that.
So how do you get it started with that? Because I am
very lightweight.
Very aware of that, but
very lightweight. And when you press, you will immediately feel what I mean. Think about, I don't actively extend the triceps. The movement starts out of the chest. You can try it now.
Yeah, I can't even do it like this. There's not a problem for me, but it is. I think it is an ego thing. You see,
it's always.
Yeah, because
it's always, and most people are incredibly weak in the chest.
Yeah, I am.
For example, they are used to do hammer strength 4 plates. And if they do it out of the chest, 2 plates. But you will have that titties with 4 plates when you do it out of the chest. So if you do 4 plates and you don't have titties, it's wrong.
Okay, so first thing I have to do after my show is screw the weights and just fix on my mechanics. Okay, this is something.
And then get strong.
Yeah.
And then get strong in the right movement.
Yeah.
But you know, those genetically monsters, they have from the beginning the right biomechanics. They have from the beginning the right movements.
SAS is coming to my mind.
They have never had to, they never had to think about, because it's just natural. But some people, because of their injuries, because of their childhood, because of their training mistakes from the beginning, they turn to a wrong direction. And then it has to be totally reset. And it's not about doing more volume for the chest. It's not about doing any different exercises for the chest. As you will answer with yes for me, that doesn't make the difference.
Yeah. But choosing the right equipment might help. For example,
that can make it more easier, but still, when you are able to learn it with the basic, you are undestroyable.
Okay. So next time we see, I'm gonna have a titties like
Yes,
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
yes, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will be able to. I'm sure you will be able to do it. Actually, it's not about the weight you move from A to B. It's about the muscle you contract from A to B.
Yeah.
And that's just the point. And when it comes to chest, back, legs, that's most of the time the problem.
Yeah. Okay. I am not gonna make it thorough just because this is not about training today, but about your athletes. Who uh, who I have to ask it to be correctly. Which athletes you are most proud of this year? Can you say it?
I'm really proud of everyone, but there are some amateurs who really have very, very bad genetics and turned out at incredible work ethic and doing the best out of it. Sometimes that's even more proud than someone who is genetically gifted and is getting better and better. So I couldn't answer that because there's such a lot of stories which made me proud.
Okay. I for some
For
reason
example, I was incredibly proud for Zach Persson. He got the classic overall in Sweden last year. We worked together since 5 or 6 years. He's just doing the work as a machine. And honestly, in the beginning, I never thought that he could go that far. And the moment he won his pro card was really something which made me incredibly proud because he's such a special kind of person and he is it was so it never was easy for him. It really has to be carved out and work to get to that specific point. I'm more targeted by those stories than stories from genetically gifted guy who win their first pro show.
yeah. For some reason I was thought that you say that it's Wesley because many
I'm super,
people,
super, I'm
yeah,
super, super proud of that. Absolutely. But I always knew that he will win it.
yeah, but so
At
many
some point,
people,
it's the same that I know that Urs will gonna win it, that Nathan will be at Olympia and maybe get to the total top, the same as William. That are things I'm totally proud of, but it's more surprising that someone gets a pro card who just doesn't have the best genetics for that sport.
how do you feel about uh, oh my God, the lion? You just say about his name, and I am
Ah,
just
Kevin.
no. Sorry, I am 11 days out, and I am brain fogged right now as fuck. Uh, oh my God, I am not gonna. Never mind, but he's
Maybe
an
you
old,
remind later.
yeah, he's an older guy from the Netherlands. Very well known bodybuilder. Oh my God, 212.
From the Netherlands?
Yeah, he's from the same country as Wesley. They are working
A
together.
212 athlete?
He was 212. Right now he's William Bonac.
Ah,
Oh
yeah, I
my
said
fucking
William
God.
just before. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What? How do you feel about him? I
Oh,
was
it
convinced
will
that he
be
is over, but
no, it will be a great
seeing,
comeback. Actually,
yeah,
it just sent me the check.
check in.
Here you go, coach. Yeah,
Can you show us?
sure. we do it live. Wait,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I
but it's
go.
something went bad. I just gonna cut it. Don't worry.
No, how where do I? Bildschirmfreigeben. I have it. I can't. You need to allow it to me to share my screen.
Yeah, that's it. It work?
Now it works. Yeah, it works.
I'm so curious.
So I go to that. I close the things. So we uh, wait. No, I don't want that. I want that.
Oh my God. I remember when I was starting with my bodybuilding journey and watched every freaking BSN video with William over and over and over again. I was almost could making voiceovers of that of that videos.
So that's morning fasted without any pump or something like that.
This is crazy. This is elite genetics, yeah. What a density. I've always loved how he hits his glutes and hammies.
Yes.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
So it's gonna be quite nice. And with pump, it looks totally different. That was Saturday. That's then with pump.
Oh my fucking God, yes. This is crazy.
So it
Man.
will be good again.
Can we see a sneak peek? Can we see a sneak peek of a Martin or it's this is not possible? Martin as well have a beautiful posing, especially those rear shots. It's crazy that he is not even 30.
No,
How is that even possible? Look at the density of this muscle. It's crazy.
his training is really high quality.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's bring up his arm a lot.
Yes.
This year is looking crazy. Everything is just matching. He's so complete. That's unbelievable. Even if you wanted to, you just can't pinpoint anything that's lacking. Anything. Even those
Yeah,
calves.
I want a little bit bigger chest. Still want the arms better. I want the lat spread better, so a little bit more thickness and depth in the back. But it's going to the right direction.
Yeah, but it's cherry picking.
Yeah, I must do cherry
Yeah,
picking.
I know, I know. Oh my God. Crazy. This is from
Yesterday.
yesterday, yeah.
Mhm.
So he's probably rather flat.
Yes.
Yeah. Hard to say because he's always he's keeping his fullness very, very good. So it's hard to say. I know you can recognize it probably very well when he is flat and when he is full, but
Yeah, that's on the flatter side. He will even be flatter today in the morning when he gets up, which will be in about 1 hour. I will get the new pictures,
okay.
and then we will go from there.
Will you started to load him right now, or you like to load?
Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow.
So Wednesday, Thursday, and
Mhm.
then Friday
Yeah,
just to
Wednesday, just a half day.
yeah, okay. Okay, Stefan, thank you so much. I'm not gonna keep you for longer because you I could ask you about everything I wanted to, and that would be like a 10-hour podcast, and probably that's not even possible. Yeah, so thank you a lot for the conversations today. I know that you are very, very busy. I am sorry for keeping you so taking you an hour from
All
your day,
fine.
but it is always a pleasure to speak with you. So
I don't know
thank
if
you a
you
lot.
I don't know if you recognize, but I work between.
No, no, but you probably doing it even even if you when you sleep, you probably sleep with
No,
one eye open.
then I sleep actually, but I did everything. I think I just have two messages which need a little bit more attention.
Yeah. Okay. For those who are not following, Stefan is a boss of Outlaw on
Mhm.
Instagram. You can find every link on the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Share, subscribe. The sharing aspect is especially important for me because I wanted to keep it worldwide, and the YouTube is not keen to like showing the people outside the Poland anything that is not uploaded over the border. So this is
Mm.
very hard to. But our last podcast actually have quite a lot of hits. So I hoping for a lot of shares. So maybe we could hit a lot of views. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching, and I am not gonna keep you for longer. So thank you, and I wish you
All the best for the rest
a
of your
great day.
prep.
Thank you so much, man. Okay.